Yeah, you know what time it is, Friday, our favourite day of the week, with our favourite guest of the week, Braith Anasta, Blue Star as well. Welcome to the studio, bro.
Thank you. It's been a big week. How are you guys going?
Yeah.
Awful,
All right.
awful, mate.
I'm loving life.
Well, we're coming off 5 hours sleep, mate.
You're not coming off, but a big Blues win.
Big Blues win. How good was it? Huh?
It was great, man. You've had a big week. You did 360 pretty much every day. Hey, you were just doing it every
We
night.
had Wednesday off because everyone's watching the game and the coverage on 9, and then we do a sort of preview or review last night on the show.
What are your thoughts? I mean, New South Wales, the score didn't reflect the game, did it? But, you know, everyone's talking about changes. Woodsy, our man, he's very vocal on the changes. Love it,
I
eh?
love it.
I love New South Wales, mate.
Well, we have a lot of opinions, you
Yes,
and I.
yeah.
You got to, but you got to put
be
your
honest.
balls
You're
on
not
the
going to
line.
sit there. We're not the ones that will talk about it behind people's back.
That's right.
We go on air and we say what we want to
Well,
say.
the fans are talking about it.
Exactly
they're,
right.
They're either happy or worried or whatever it is, and we're trying to voice the fans' opinions, aren't
Mate,
we?
it's exactly
You're
right.
working for the fans again now, are you?
Yeah,
That's
a lot
right.
of
We're
them
giving
hate us,
back
but we're
now.
still telling
Nice.
them.
Bowie?
Give him back. All right, no, but you guys Kat and I would
relationship.
Kat and I would love to weigh in, but we didn't play Origin. All right,
No,
did we,
but
Kat?
definitely not. I didn't even come close. You came closer than me.
No, I didn't come close at all.
You said it, not us.
But okay, everyone's a comedian today. But mate, where do they start, Queensland? Let's talk. I know you're a New South Wales through and through, but what did Queensland do? Because their forwards got bashed, they were out-muscled. Everyone's pointing at Cherry Evans.
Yeah. Usually Queensland don't like to make change, and you know all their fans have come out yesterday. I mean, you had Reedy on the show, I believe, in the morning, and he said he doesn't like making change, but then he made about 12. So we've got them rattled, which is really good. You know, because like you said, Bowie, they weren't even close. No. Like we couldn't have played any worse. I think New South Wales, like they played well, but they've only got improvement in them. The big one is DC. That's the big call. I actually said to Gordon Tallis, that is, on the show on Monday, I said, if they lose, could this be DC's last game in a Maroon jersey? And he said, it depends how they lose. And then last night I said, well, they couldn't have lost any.
They were poor.
They were poor, right? And I said, what do you do? And then he tiptoed around it. Because the Queenslanders, they are, like, as much as we give them a bit of shit, you know, they're very passionate and they genuinely get their backs up. And last night, they, you know, both Brent Reid and Gordy were fired up and really defensive and trying to palm it off like it wasn't that big of a deal. But I know it was hurting them. But he didn't have much. They didn't really give me a clear answer, to be fair.
Typical
but
Queensland.
I think they will. If you're asking me, I think they will. I think, you know, DC is the oldest player, I think, in the history, isn't he? Of Queensland to play. He's getting on. He's got a lot of disruption back at Manly. He hasn't announced the Roosters signing. He goes into camp. You know, he wasn't the only one that underperformed, but you got to think they've got to create a new era here. They've got to look to new players. I mean, Dearden, when he came on Spark the last 10 or 15 minutes, Cameron wasn't at his best Munster at all. But at the end of the day, you know, Shane Webke, who I noticed, I think it was on Triple M.
He did the call.
He kind of said Billy had an opportunity at the start of the series to make the call and didn't. So he was kind of insinuating the time's now. And I think they've got nothing to lose because right now they don't look close to winning the series.
Yeah.
So if he rolls the dice a little bit and brings in Dearden and shuffles the decks a little bit and they lose the series, well, at least they've started the combination and made some change. But it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
That's the funny one because leading into the series, Billy was all pumped up. He knew the side that he thought could beat New South Wales. He mentioned in a press conference, Braith, it wasn't the personnel. It was the way we played. But then, for me, it was the personnel because you watch DCE, you watch Harry Grant that you were quite vocal on your show. Is this Billy Slater's biggest challenge now? Because he come in, his first two series, won it, looked good, looked great. He's coming off a bad loss at home at a decider at Suncorp last year. And then they've lost game one in Suncorp this season. Where do we see Billy Slater?
It's his biggest challenge by a long way, Woodsy, because he was such a successful player and then went into coaching and had success straight away. He was the Messiah. He was the God. He was the king of Queensland. He couldn't do a thing wrong.
He watches every game apparently, so he knows what's going on.
We all watch every game, Woodsy. You know, but he is meticulous, right?
Yep.
But that's even worse because, like, not worse, but for him to be so meticulous, to study the game, to watch, you know, all the footage of every player and every game, and to pick the team that he wants to, and then to not deliver for him, he would take that personal.
Yep.
But that's also a concern. Like, we're all talking up the Blues, and that worries me, you know, because they always bounce back. Even they love being the underdog, and the more we talk up New South Wales, the more we say they can't win, the more chance they are of winning. But they do need to make change. They can't. You talk about personnel. You couldn't take that team into game 2 and think you got a chance against New South Wales. I don't think they're any chance.